Brian Anderson was very sharp this afternoon opposite Barry Zito. He had a 2-1 lead after 6 innings and had given up just 4 hits. Meantime, Zito, as we mentioned earlier, had a struggle in the first and again in the 6th. Struggle in the sense that he had a lot of pitches thrown. As a result, 109 pitches for the 6 innings made it obvious and easy for Ken Macher to go to the bullpen, which came up superb in the 7th, 8th, and 9th inning, allowing Zito to pick up the win. Barry had 25 pitches to get through the first inning, and he got burned because of a hit batsman, Jesse Relaford, who led off the inning, being hit by the first pitch, and then a walk to Ken Harvey with 2 out on a 3-2 pitch. Joe Randa, who broke a long run of very few extra base hits in last night's game with a home run. He had only 1 extra base hit in 17 games up to then. He liked the idea of those extra bases. Here's a pitch. Swing, there's a high fly to right, and that's deep. And that's curving, and it is a fair ball down in the corner. 1 run in, 2 runs in. Heading for third base, going in, standing is Joe Randa with a triple, and that puts the Royals up 2-0. A high curving off-field drive down to the right field corner area. Dye had a long way to go. Couldn't get there. It bounced in fair ground. And with 2 outs, scored both Harvey from first and Relaford from second. The A's managed a couple of hits with 2 out in the 3rd inning, but Chavez was rung up on a check swing. And that was about all that they had in the way of a concerted threat until the 5th. But in the 4th inning, we got an idea that the wind might be a factor, blowing in from right field or at least across from right to left, with Scott Hatterberg tying into 1.
The 3-1 pitch, and Hatterberg lifts it to deep right field. Stairs is going back. He's at the track. He's at the wall. And he makes a fine catch right up against the fence in right field. Matt Stairs robbing Scott Hatterberg, reaching up with the glove hand to take that ball right off the top of the fence.
And then in the 5th inning with 1 out, Bobby Crosby hit one a distance, and it was enough. 2-1 pitch. Fly ball center field. That's hit well. Going back on it, though, is the wall, and it's gone. That ball just kept carrying.
I think the wind was a big factor there, Bill. He got it up there, and he hit it well, and the wind just carried it.
Bobby Crosby, his 5th home run of the year. It was dead center. Beltran didn't really start back as if he was going to have to break hard to the barrier and then accelerate it as he went back. So now it's a 2-1 ball game. And Zito had been breezing through from the first inning, 2 runs that he gave up, through the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. In the 6th inning, he had to do a little bit more work with a double by Randa with 1 out, producing a threat. And then with Matt Stairs batting, he was hit by a pitch in the shoulder. Runners at 1st and 2nd. And here was where Zito had to bear down. This is where he used quite a few pitches to build up that 109 pitch count. But he got Stinnett swinging on strike 3, and the slump-riddled shortstop Angel Baroa bounced into a force out, and Zito kept it at a 2-1 ball game. But Anderson breezed through the A's 1, 2, 3 in the 6th, and you began to wonder whether he was going to be vulnerable at all. Certainly not after Hatterberg grounded out to start the 7th inning. But then Durazo, who was 0 for 2 up to that point, ripped a double to right center field. And that started a sequence that turned the A's afternoon into a victorious one. Damian Miller, who at Arizona with the Diamondbacks had been the battery mate of Brian Anderson.
Damian Miller, right-handed hitter. Anderson out of the stretch. Checks the runner. Here's the 2-1. And it's lined to right center for a base hit, and that'll tie the ball game. Durazo is around 3rd to score. The ball rolls to the track, and Miller cruises into 2nd with a double, and the A's have tied the ball game at 2-2. So back-to-back doubles in the 7th by Durazo and Miller.
And then Bobby Crosby stepped up, and it was Bobby's afternoon.
The 2-1 pitch is a bloop out over short. That's going to fall for a base hit. Miller read it well. He's around 3rd. Up with the ball is Brown. He'll just flip the ball back to the infield. Miller scores from 3rd on a blooping single to left center by Bobby Crosby, and the A's have taken a 3-2 lead. A great read by Damian Miller that time. So the A's with 3 consecutive hits. That's 2 RBIs today for Crosby. And here comes Tony Pena, and that's going to be it for Brian Anderson.
Pena called on the veteran Jason Grimsley to come in and face Mark McLemore. While McLemore was batting, Crosby stole second base for his first Major League steal, and that proved to be pivotal, too, because McLemore had a good at-bat.
3-2 pitch on the way, lifted to left field. Going back is Brown, still going back, racing toward the track. It's over his head and going to the wall. Now Brown slips and falls, and so Crosby trots around third to score easily. Into second with a double is Mark McLemore, and it is 4-2 Athletics.
Again, the wind with a helping hand.
And McLemore going the other way, right over the head of left fielder Adrian Brown. Grimsley got that sinker up a little bit.
And at this point, as the Royals came up in the seventh, Maka went to the bullpen. Jim Messier, a 1-2-3 inning with 2 strikeouts. In the eighth inning, the A's managed nothing off Curtis Laskonic. Chad Bradford came in the bottom of the eighth, a 1-2-3 inning with 1 strikeout. And in the ninth, the A's still had just a 4-2 lead. And, of course, when you're playing on the other guy's turf, that can be on the precarious side. All you need is a base runner, and the tying run gets to the plate. A cushion is nice. Rubio Durazo was the cushion man. Camp delivers. Swinging a high drive, hits it deep right center field. The wind will probably hold it back. Stares his back near the wall, and he watches it fly for a home run. Deep right center field. And even the wind did not keep that one from going the distance off the bat of Rubio Durazo, his 6th homer of the year. So 2 huge at-bats for Durazo in the 7th and the 9th, and it's 5-2 Athletics. The way Hatterberg's ball was held up back in the 4th inning, I thought sure that ball might not get out. And so that was off Sean Camp, the 3rd reliever of the afternoon. He went on to walk Damian Miller. Crosby then completed his superb afternoon with a double that ate up Joe Randa at third down the left field line, putting runners at second and third. McLemore couldn't get the run home as he flied out to left, but too shallow. And Jaime Cerda, a left-hander, came in to pitch to Mark Kotze and try to keep that run from scoring. The infield in now, and the pitch. Swung on, there's a high fly to center. And that should be deep enough, but now it's coming back in a little bit. Caught by Beltran. He gets a lot of momentum for the throw, fires to the plate, but safe standing if the throw is cut off. Damian Miller is in, and Kotze on 1 pitch delivers an extra run for the A's on the sacrifice fly. And it was left to Arthur Rhodes to pitch the 9th in a non-save situation. He got 1 out. Stinnett hit a low liner to right. Dye made a nice diving, tumbling catch for out number 2. Baroa got a single, but very quickly Jesse Relaford tapped back to the mound. Rhodes threw him out, and the A's were ready to head home with a 5-1 road trip on the strength of a 6-2 win this afternoon in Kansas City. And it's time to